In this video, I'll guide you through how to set up roll-up properties in Google Analytics 4. A roll-up property lets you combine data from multiple GA4 properties into a single central view, which is really useful if you manage several websites, apps, or regions and want a unified analytics picture. I'll walk you through the setup step by step so you can follow along on your own screen. First, open your browser and go to analytics.google.com. If you're not already signed in, log in with the Google account that has access to the properties you want to include in your rollup. Once you're in, you'll land on the Google Analytics home interface. Next, look for the admin area. You'll find this as a small gear icon, usually in the lower left corner of the screen. Go ahead and click that gear icon. This opens the admin panel where you can manage your accounts, properties, and settings. Make sure you're in the correct account where you want this new roll-up property to live. Within the admin panel, look for the Create dropdown. This is typically near the top of the property column. Click on the Create dropdown to see your options. From that menu, you'll want to choose the option to create a new property. So click Property. This starts the property creation flow where you'll define all the key settings for your new rollup. You'll now be prompted to enter a property name. This is where you should type something that clearly indicates that this is a rollup, for example, by including the word rollup in the name. A clear descriptive name will help you and your team easily recognize this property later, especially if you manage many properties. After naming the property, select your reporting time zone. This determines how days are defined in your reports, which is important when you're aggregating data from different sources. Choose the time zone that best matches your primary reporting needs or your organization's main location. If your properties span multiple regions, think about which time zone makes the most sense for your central reporting. Next, you'll choose the currency. This affects how revenue and monetary values are displayed in reports. Select the currency that aligns with your main business or financial reporting. When you're happy with the time zone and currency, click Next to move on. Now you'll see the section for business details. This is where Google Analytics asks for a bit of context about your organization. You'll need to select your industry category, which best describes your business type, and then choose your business size. These settings help Google tailor recommendations and benchmarking, but they don't change the fundamental behavior of the roll-up property. Once you've selected the industry and size, click Next. You'll then be asked to choose your business objectives. These are the goals that describe what you want to achieve with analytics, such as generating leads, driving online sales, or understanding user behavior. Select the objectives that are most relevant to how you plan to use this roll-up property. When you've made your selections, click Create. At this point, your roll-up property is created and added to your account. The final step is to set up your data collection. In the roll-up context, this typically means configuring how data from your individual source properties will flow into the roll-up property. Follow the on-screen prompts to review data streams, link the appropriate properties, and confirm any required settings. Make sure each source property is properly configured so its events and conversions are included in the roll-up. Once you've completed the setup, your roll-up property will begin collecting and aggregating data, giving you that unified overview across all your key properties.